As President Biden begins his engagement with our closest allies and partners in the Middle East, there is an opportunity to build on the momentum of the Abraham Accords to advance U.S. interests and leverage the emerging bonds among our closest regional partners. American leadership was a necessary, though by itself insufficient, condition to the normalization of relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and will remain essential to building cooperative relationships between Israel and other formerly hostile powers. Biden should expand on this inheritance from the Trump administration, not try to move beyond it. The alignment of our regional partners and allies in both the economic and security domains will ensure that the legacy of the Accords incentivizes other states to normalize relations with Israel and forge new economic and security partnerships to meet the myriad challenges posed not only by Iran, but also by the malign influence of China and Russia. Following the announcement of diplomatic normalization between Israel and the UAE in August of last year, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco quickly followed suit. What motivated this move? Certainly, the threat from violent extremism and Iran animated the members, but so too did the promise of cooperation and recovery from the pandemic's impact on their economies. How can the U.S. capitalize on this momentum to persuade other countries to join and expand the Accords? The first step is to establish trust. This begins with cooperation on security threats that preoccupy the region's leaders. In addition to restating joint commitments to counter violent extremism, we should ensure close collaboration to address the regional threat from Iran and its surrogates. The State Department can rapidly affirm the interagency review that approved of arms sales, providing our regional partners with the tools required to combat shared threats, recognizing that both Russia and China would be happy to fill the void without restrictions. Next, we should expand scale. Discussions should be advanced incrementally and can include the commencement of international flights, the opening of commercial offices, and reducing trade restrictions. It can also include establishing representation for the Accords members not already in the Gulf Cooperation Council to provide a multilateral forum for collaboration. Recognizing the steps taken by Egypt in 1979 and Jordan in 1994 warrants their inclusion and a corresponding review of our security cooperation to ensure we remain their preferred partner. We must also expand scope. The initial focus on economic, cultural, and social issues was intentional, but was always meant to expand and address the complex security issues faced by its members, including the regional threats from Iran, violent extremism, and Chinese and Russian malign influence.